Do you ever have that feeling, that crushing weight of being impossibly busy?
Oh, constantly.
Your notifications are flashing, your inbox is just refreshing and refreshing, but then you look back at your day and what did you actually do?
Nothing of lasting value, right? It feels like you've just been treading water.
Exactly. It's like the whole modern economy is just designed to keep us tethered to these shallow little tasks.
Well, that constant fragmented state is the exact problem we're going to get into in this deep dive. We're looking at a blueprint for focused success.
Okay.
And that means we really have to start by establishing two key terms. The goal, the thing we're all chasing, is what Cal Newport calls deep work.
And how do we define that? Is it just, trying really hard on something?
It's much more specific than that. Deep work is when you're doing professional activities in a state of, well, distraction-free concentration.
Okay, so no phone, no email.
Right. And you're pushing your cognitive abilities to their absolute limits. The result is that these efforts, they create new value, they improve your skill, and they are inherently very hard for other people to replicate.
So that's the valuable hard stuff. What about the rest of our workday? All the other noise?
Everything else is shallow work.
Right.
And that's your non-cognitively demanding logistical tasks. Answering routine emails, scheduling things, the kind of stuff you often do while you're distracted.
That's easy to replicate.
Super easy to replicate. And it creates very little new value in the world.
So our mission for this deep dive is to really understand why deep work has become, I guess, the key currency in our economy.
And crucially, how you can actually build the habits and the systems that successful people use to harness it.
Let's get into it.
What's really fascinating here is the sheer economic necessity of this. A couple of economists, Brynjolfsson and McAfee, they describe our current landscape as the Great Restructuring.
The Great Restructuring.
And this shift, it's all driven by digital tech, and it's polarizing rewards. It dramatically rewards three groups, but two of them are highly accessible to you, the learner.
Okay, so who's the first group?
The first are the high-skilled workers. These are the people who can work creatively with intelligent machines.
So not fighting against the machines, but working alongside them.
Exactly. Think of someone like Nate Silver. He mastered these really complex statistical tools like Stata and SQL.
Right.
He didn't succeed despite the technology. He succeeded because he could master those tools to pull these incredibly valuable insights out of huge, messy data sets.
He could speak the language of the data.
He could. And the second group, they're the superstars. Technology has basically flattened markets into these winner-take-all environments.
So only the absolute best thrive.
Only the best. David Heinemeier Hansson, who created Ruby on Rails, is a perfect example. If you can produce at that elite level, high-speed communication makes you globally accessible. You get a massive premium over any local competitor.
So to join either of those groups, you need two core abilities. One, you have to be able to master hard things quickly.
And two, you have to be able to produce at an elite level.
And deep work, I'm guessing, is the engine for both.
It is the engine for both. When it comes to learning hard things, psychology points to something called deliberate practice.
Deliberate practice.
It's defined by tightly focused attention on a specific challenging skill. And you have to get immediate feedback on how you're doing. Any kind of diffused attention is, well, it's almost antithetical to the process.
So if you're trying to learn a new coding language, but you're also checking Slack every 2 minutes, you're not really practicing. You're just faking it.
You're not. And this focus isn't just behavioral, it's physical. When you engage in deliberate practice, you are physically improving your brain.
How?
You're developing myelin around the relevant neurons. Think of myelin as like the insulation on an electrical wire.
Oh, interesting.
The thicker that insulation gets, the faster and more effortlessly that skill circuit fires in your brain. Deep work literally makes your brain faster and better at what you're trying to do.
Okay, that covers the learning part, mastering hard things, but how does that focus translate into the raw output that makes somebody a superstar?
That comes down to a really surprisingly simple equation. It's high-quality work produced time spent X intensity of focus.
Time times intensity.
That's it. If you double the intensity, you can double the quality of what you produce in the same amount of time.
Okay, give me an example.
Look at the Wharton professor Adam Grant. He is famously prolific. He produces this mountain of peer-reviewed papers, bestsellers.
He's everywhere.
He is. And he does it by bashing his work into these intense, uninterrupted pulses. He just maximizes that intensity variable, which means he gets these absurd results from the time he spends.
It's amazing how simple that equation is. So why, if the rules are that clear and the reward is so high, does it feel like the modern world is designed to just sabotage our intensity?
That's the paradox, isn't it?
Yeah. Why are we collectively losing the ability to focus?
Well, we can point the finger directly at our network tools. Email, SMS, those constant pings from Slack. They've fragmented our cognitive capacity.
And that fragmentation has a real cost.
A heavy cognitive cost. It's known as attention residue.
Attention residue. Okay, break that down for us.
A professor, Sophie Leroy, found that when you switch from task A to task B, a residue of your attention remains stuck thinking about task A.
So even though you've moved on, part of your brain is still back there.
It's like having a dozen apps running in the background of your mental operating system. They're just draining resources, even though you think you're focused on the main task.
This residue, it leads to really poor performance on the next thing you try to do.
And the more you switch back and forth, the worse it gets.
Exactly. Over time, it just degrades your ability to do deep work at all.
And our business culture just makes this worse. I mean, open offices.
Oh, the worst. Where anyone can interrupt you at any time. And there's this expectation of an instant response on messaging apps. It's a system that actively punishes depth.
It prioritizes availability over actual valuable contribution.
So why do we do it?
Well, the paradox deepens because the metrics are missing. We're facing what's called the metric black hole.
The metric black hole.
It's just objectively hard to measure the actual value of deep work. You can't easily put a dollar figure on a brilliant new algorithm versus, say, responding to 50 emails.
So since we can't measure it, we just ignore it.
And that lack of data allows all these irrational behaviors to just flourish. Atlantic Media actually tried to quantify this. They found they were spending over $1 million a year just paying people to process free email.
$1 million. That's a staggering cost for something everyone treats as frictionless.
Precisely. And this difficulty in measurement allows the principle of least resistance to take over.
Meaning we just do what's easiest in the moment.
In the absence of clear feedback, that's what people do. They trend toward what feels easiest right now. Checking email every 5 minutes gives you this immediate, small-scale feeling of accomplishment.
Even if it's wrecking your long-term productivity.
And your well-being. There was a study at Boston Consulting Group that showed forcing people to disconnect actually improved both the product quality and employee morale.
But if there's no clear way to measure the quality of thought, how are knowledge workers supposed to prove their value? I feel like people are just trying to show they're contributing something.
And that's the final force at play. We use busyness as a proxy for productivity.
Performing productivity.
That's it. Lacking those objective metrics for creativity or analysis, we fall back on these visible, almost industrial age indicators. We see people doing lots of stuff in a visible way. Constant email replies, being in meetings all the time.
Always being on.
It's performance to convince themselves and everyone else that they're valuable and essential. It's not the reality of productivity.
Okay, that just summarizes the problem so beautifully. We are constantly distracted, our culture encourages shallowness, and we can't even measure how much it's costing us.
A bleak picture.
So now that we know the value and the obstacles, the challenge becomes building your own fortress of focus. Your own bowling and tower, right?
Yeah.
Like Carl Jung's stone retreat where he did his best thinking.
Exactly. And the first step is to decide on a philosophy for how you're going to integrate depth into your life. Few of us can be purely monastic.
Like the computer scientist Donald Knuth, who just cut off email entirely in 1990.
Not realistic for most of us. A much more applicable model is the bimodal philosophy.
Bimodal?
Right.
What does that look like in practice?
It just means separating your time. You have these intense, uninterrupted deep sessions. Maybe you dedicate 2 to 4 full days a week to deep concentration, like Adam Grant does.
And then the rest of the time.
The rest of the time you're open, you're accessible, you do your shallow work. But those deep periods have to be long enough to get real momentum, and they have to be strictly respected.
So it's not about multitasking, it's about periodizing your focus. And that focus, it isn't something you can just will into existence, is it? It feels like something you have to train, like a muscle.
It absolutely has to be trained. Concentration is a trainable capacity. And a great technique for that is the Teddy Roosevelt approach.
The president.
The president. At Harvard, he severely restricted the time he allowed himself for schoolwork. But, and this is the key, he tackled those small blocks of time with this blistering, almost superhuman intensity.
So the goal isn't just to work less, it's to increase your concentration strength by forcing yourself to get more out of a compressed amount of time.
You're attacking it, not just enduring it.
Speaking of mindset, we mentioned that attention residue from unfinished tasks is a huge drain. How do we turn off those background apps in our brain when the workday is over?
That's where the shutdown ritual is so essential. It is your best defense against something called the Zeigarnik effect.
Okay, what's that?
It's just the psychological tendency for incomplete tasks to dominate your attention. If you leave work open-ended, your brain just keeps rehearsing it over and over.
That explains why I'll be lying in bed thinking about an email I forgot to send.
That's exactly it. So the ritual is an algorithm you run at the end of every day. You go through every incomplete task or project, and you confirm that you have a trustworthy plan, a specific time and place to get it done later.
By planning the attack, you're basically telling your brain, it's handled, you can let it go for now.
Precisely. And once that review is done, you use a set phrase, something like shutdown complete, and you fully, truly disconnect.
And that disconnection is vital.
It is. That dedicated, guilt-free downtime is essential for what's known as attention restoration theory, or RT.
Okay.
The kind of directed attention you need for deep work is a finite resource. It gets depleted, needs to recharge. If you're squeezing in little work dashes after hours, you prevent that restoration, and you're just exhausted for the next day's deep work.
To protect all this focus time, we have to talk about the tools that got us into this mess. You argue we have to be, well, ruthless about how we manage them.
We have to reject the typical mindset. Most people use the any benefit approach.
Which is, if you can find any possible benefit to a tool, you use it.
Right. Instead, you need to adopt the craftsman approach.
Or you treat your digital tools with the same precision and long-term view as a skilled woodworker treats their chisels.
Exactly right. There's this farmer, Forrest Pritchard. He decided against buying a modern hay baler. Now, the baler offered convenience, short-term benefits.
Sure.
But he rejected it because buying hay, instead of making it himself, was better for the long-term health of his soil. And that was his core baseline for success.
So the craftsman approach means you only adopt a tool if its positive impacts on your core goals substantially outweigh its negative impacts.
That's the threshold. If email fragments your attention for 6 hours a day, it is failing the craftsman test, no matter how necessary it seems.
And this shift, it isn't just about being more profitable or productive. You're saying it's intrinsically meaningful.
Absolutely. Psychologically, deep work generates the flow state.
Yeah.
That's Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi's theory, that our minds actually enjoy the reward of intense challenge. We are happier when we're doing demanding work.
And neurologically, there's a huge personal benefit too, isn't there?
A profound one. The writer Winifred Gallagher realized, after a cancer diagnosis, that our world is the outcome of what we choose to pay attention to. By giving rapt attention to deep, important things, whether that's programming beautiful code or mastering a new skill, you prevent your mind from dwelling on anxiety and triviality. You construct a world that's rich in meaning.
And ultimately, the most practical benefit is still there. That capacity for high-level concentration, it translates directly into breakthrough results.
You see it in all the legends of innovators. Bill Gates writing code so intensely for weeks on end that he'd collapse at his keyboard. That intensity, that depth, that's where the breakthroughs happen.
So we've really traced this journey from being trapped in fragmented distraction to actually building systems for valuable focus. We've talked about applying tools like the shutdown ritual and adopting that craftsman mindset for our digital lives.
Which brings us to a final provocative thought for you to consider. The knowledge economy, right now, it discounts the true value of deep work. It does this because it's rare and because we don't have clear, immediate metrics for it.
And that's not likely to change anytime soon.
Probably not. So cultivating depth isn't just a productivity strategy, it's an enormous personal advantage. If deep work is the key currency and almost no one is mining it,
Right.
what is the most ambitious, transformative thing you could pursue if you dedicated 3 to 4 hours a day of focused, distraction-free effort to it?
That is a powerful question to end on. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.